Dead in Hip Hop Conversation. Man, I got the whole crew here. Beezy, Modest, Ken. And today we are talking about Live Nation being sued by the Department of Justice. Mm-hmm. And the overarching thing is culture being devalued? Are the artists really getting their just due for being as creative as they are? So to start off this thing, you can go to justice.gov and find everything in regards to this lawsuit. The Justice Department sues Live Nation / Ticketmaster for monopolizing markets across the live concert industry. We allege that Live Nation relies on unlawful anti-competitive conduct to exercise its monopolistic control over the live event industry in the United States at the cost of fans, artists, smaller promoters, and venue operators, said Attorney General Merrick B. Garland. The result is that fans pay more in fees, artists have fewer opportunities to play concerts, smaller promoters get squeezed out, and venues have fewer real choices for ticketing services. It is time to break up the Live Nation Ticketmaster. To take this a step further, just recently John Bellion, I forgot the name of the podcast, you already know I'm bad with names, but shout out to y'all. It's a really big channel. They have like 2 million subscribers. They just had John Bellion on there, and John Bellion was talking about when he kind of realized what his contract with Live Nation was, and I'm paraphrasing, you guys can go and look that up, but essentially his Live Nation contract, obviously it was just like a record deal, right? Like they give you an advance, you work, you pay back the advance, and then obviously, you keep anything that goes beyond that.
Whatever left over, yeah.
Exactly. So when he was looking over his Live Nation contract, he realized that he's only making money off of hard ticket sales.
Okay.
Right? So everything at the venue, he could pack out the venue, you buy a $40 beer, a $20 hot dog, and you paid $55 for parking. John Bellion made $0 off of any of that. And John Bellion, for those that don't know, very accomplished singer-songwriter, especially on the songwriting side. His biggest song was The Monster with Rihanna and Eminem. And you could go and look to see everything that he's done. A very accomplished guy. But he wasn't making any money off of that, right?
Should he?
Huh?
Should he?
Yeah.
Why?
Why shouldn't he? The only reason why you're here as somebody that spent $150, $200 at the venue is because you're here to see that person.
I feel that, but it's still, I am still providing you a venue to do that in.
Who's providing the venue?
Oh, okay. So the venue has to get paid, right? So so you have to, you're gonna bring these people here, but we still gotta pay for the cost, the workers,
100%.
all of these things. Like that money has to go back into
100%
the venue. But
what you're saying is you feel that the venue should take 100% of all of those additional costs?
I'm not saying that necessarily. I mean, but if you're getting, you said what percentage of his ticket sales?
He said
all of it.
Well, he said he's getting nothing from none of the concessions.
None of the concessions.
Zero.
I'm talking about his actual ticket sales.
The only way that he could repay his advance is hard ticket sales. But Live Nation reserves the right to put the tickets on sale. So let's say if I give you $1 million advance, right? And then you sell, the concert, let's just say on average, it's anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 seats. If Ticketmaster decides to then discount the tickets to $9, that's your hard ticket sale.
Oh, really? So you're okay?
Yes.
How do they do that?
He didn't say how much, what percentage he was getting of the hard ticket sales. I don't recall.
No, he said that that's the only way that he can repay.
That's the only he can repay the advance.
So
hard ticket sales.
Exactly. So if Live Nation decides to discount the ticket to sell more tickets,
that's bumping it harder for him.
That's harder for him because whatever the sale price goes to, that's what goes against the advance.
What about his merch? He gets that, right?
He didn't talk about merch, so I'm not 100% sure.
He didn't talk about merch, but that's a big. I mean, the biggest artists in the world do that. Like we talking about Prince, we talking about the biggest artists in the world. That's their way of getting paid. I mean, you got all these people.
That's one way.
You got one way, so that's one way, and you got the hard ticket sales. So you're getting.
But remember, the hard ticket sales is going against the advance, so you're not seeing that
Maybe
money.
I don't understand. Okay.
So okay.
I get what you're saying.
So I fronted you some money, but you have to pay me that
I
back
got you.
before you start making money on ticket sales.
I guess like depending on how many shows you do, you could pay that back.
And that's kind of the issue that he was kind of spotlighting is that
It takes so many.
I got to do 11 month worth of shows.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
For years on end, because again, Live Nation in the contract is saying that we reserve. I'm talking about I'm Live Nation. I reserve the right to discount your ticket sales. So let's just say, right, at $100 ticket, you're gonna pay back that advance a lot quicker.
No.
But if I discount it to $9, you have no say.
Scam. It's almost like a scam.
Exactly. And then here's the other thing too, right? Like at smaller venues, and this is partly the reason why the DOJ is suing Live Nation. If you're an independent artist and you don't go through Live Nation, you deal directly with a promoter, you could say, you know what? I want 30% of the door. I want 20% of the liquor. I want pieces of everything because
that I'm
packing this out because of me. And what I'm saying and what John Bellion was saying is, especially when you go to a Ticketmaster Live Nation type of event, we already know we've been out, we go outside a little bit. All of those prices for these concessions are raised. Overinflated. Yeah. So my thing is, let's just say that hot dog costs Live Nation $3 and you selling it for $20. That's $17 profit. I want $7. As an artist, that is fair. I think that is fair game to negotiate a piece of the concessions.
That part, I don't know.
See, right wing rod.
I know it kind of sounds like that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to be realistic about this shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
it just
be
doesn't
real.
sound realistic based on how shit is set up. Should it be right? Should the artists get a piece of that? Of course I think they should. But it's just simply not set up that way, right?
Well, that's the reason why Live Nation is getting sued. Well,
I don't think any place is set up like that.
I don't think
the smaller venues are set up that way.
Yeah, they're getting sued for other bullshit that
they
they're doing.
are.
What John Bellion is pointing out is just other little gangster business tactics that they do.
And he's probably not the only one.
But he's the one that's hot about it right now.
Yeah,
He was pissed.
Because he took like a six year hiatus because of this.
Yep. He said it was messing with his mental health.
Yeah.
He got married around that same time. So, obviously it's just a lot to deal with. And he just felt like he had to take a step back from the music.
What we're also seeing is, and this I read this outside of this, is that concerts aren't popping the way they used to.
Nah, I did read that.
You saw that article?
Yeah, I thought we talked about it a little bit.
How they
too. Like some of the biggest artists aren't even selling.
Like Lil Baby and we talked about that. Yeah,
we talked about that before this recent article that I just read last week. Yeah, it was talking about like Jennifer Lopez and people like that. Yeah. Like it was somebody else. It was a white band, but they're having to. They have to come to a realization they can't play arenas. So they're having to do smaller venues in order to.
So that's what happened with Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, she just put out some bullshit, but she wasn't selling tickets.
So she probably was like, this is only big enough for a small venue. I think the ego couldn't handle that and was like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah, a lot of these probably egos, probably the managers don't know what they're doing. They probably think they're bigger than what they are. People probably ain't going to the concerts, and maybe it could be a Live Nation thing. But to tie this into Live Nation, if I can't pack out an arena or a concert venue and I still got to pay them back my advance,
that's an issue.
Yeah, that's a problem. And I'm not getting a cut of all the ancillary things that they're selling.
Yep.
I do agree that they should get a percentage of it. It don't have to be anything huge because they do have other expenses, operational expenses they have to cover. And that is typically done through concession stand sales and stuff like that. So I agree they should get a percentage. I don't know what the percentage is. That 20% seems maybe a little bit high.
So this is part of the issue here, and I was looking for this in the article. Live Nation also owns or controls more than 265 concert venues in North America, including more than 60 of the top 100 amphitheaters in the United States. It generates over $22 billion globally in annual revenue from 3 business segments: concerts, which is promotions, venue management, and music festival production; ticketing, Ticketmaster business; and sponsorship and advertising. Part of the way that Live Nation was able to to garner this is that they have retaliating against potential entrants. Live Nation, Ticketmaster successfully threatened financial retaliation against a firm unless it stopped one of its subsidiaries from competing to gain a foothold in the U.S. concert promotions market. Live Nation, Ticketmaster power in concert promotion means that every live concert venue knows choosing another promoter or ticketer comes with the risk of drawing an adverse reaction from Live Nation Ticketmaster that will result in losing concerts revenue and fans.
Yeah, that sucks. Like that's messed up. Like we talked about it on the mic still on or whatever.
Never should have been allowed to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Part of the issue with some of these bigger names, the Lil Babies, the Jennifer Lopez's of the world, not being able to sell out arenas is part and because of the pricing of the ticket. Like, it's one thing to charge, let's just say $100 for the ticket, but then you got to pay tax. Everybody, this is America. We all pay tax, right? But then you have this fucking like convenience fee. You have the Ticketmaster fee, and then you go from $100 ticket to paying like $350, and it's just like, bro, I'm not paying $350.
Yeah, the article I read, it was in GQ, and it was Jennifer Lopez. They were spotlighting Jennifer Lopez and the Black Keys. First of all, Jennifer Lopez, why do you even think you could do an arena concert? I have no idea.
Right.
The Black Keys, I think it's kind of the same situation. But what I thought was interesting, of course, Live Nation, we had the conversation about it, but then we also know that this is a way that artists make money. So if people are no longer going to these concerts, they are going to be in trouble because how are they going to earn revenue?
Not from streaming.
Exactly. So, all this stuff starts to kind of create layers of problems for the music industry and artist performers themselves. And now you have live, and if you add in Live Nation jacking up the prices, people have been talking about that for decades now. And Ticketmaster working together, creating this
Live Nation owns Ticketmaster, so it's not like they're working together.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. They got
Oh,
bought out.
Were you here? Because I asked that question. Like I didn't realize that they owned them. But but you said jacking up the ticket prices, but then you said lowering the ticket prices. To help me understand that.
I think part of the issue of some of these artists not being able to sell out the arenas or even smaller venues, part of it is ticket pricing. If all of those ancillary fees were not in those ticket pricing, I think that they could sell out more arenas. The price of the reason, or one of the reasons why people aren't buying tickets is because it's just too expensive.
Okay, so that it sounds like some conflicting things that you're saying there. So because earlier when you was defending the artist paying back the
advance,
the advance, you were saying that the ticket prices are low. Didn't you
No,
say that?
No.
I can kind of connect it a little bit.
Okay, that's
with what I just said. So if the Black Keys has a concert and they are playing an arena, and that was the venue that was picked by the manager, Ticketmaster, Live Nation, or whatever, and they're not selling tickets at that price, Live Nation has the authority to lower the price of the ticket to get more people in the spot.
Exactly. The lowering the price, you paying back the advance at the lower price, not at the original price.
So is that their fault, or is that the artist not selling fault? Not the artist, but the whoever's the artist is under or whatever, their production, their promotion or whatever. Is that their fault? Whose fault is it really?
It's not a fault because the economy has a lot to do with that or whatever. But this is the reason why I said that the artist should get a piece of the concessions.
Yeah, it should be a pivot to so. But again, they don't give a shit about the artist,
and that's the overarching problem.
Well, and Spotify's in trouble too. I don't know.
Exactly, and that's what I was about to segue. Let me do what I do. Music fans and artists hit back as Spotify CEO claims the cost of creating content is close to zero. Writing as a content creator, bruh, and I don't even handle barely anything on the back end. I can tell you this shit is not cheap. I can tell you it's not cheap. Writing on Twitter, he shared an update which read, "Today, with the cost of creating content being close to zero, people can share an incredible amount of content. This has sparked my curiosity about the concept of long shelf life versus short shelf life." He continued, While much of what we see and hear quickly becomes obsolete, there are timeless ideas or even pieces of music that can remain relevant for decades or even centuries. For example, we're witnessing a resurgence in Stoicism, with many of Marcus Aurelius' insights still resonating thousands of years later.
What is happening?
About Marcus earlier?
Music will still be valued in 100 years. Spotify wrote someone in response. It would only be remembered as a bad example of a parasitic tool for extracting value from other people's music. And I agree with that.
Whoever the CEO is, he's probably not an idiot, but that was an idiotic statement that he just said. You know, like, why the hell would you say that when there's always and have constantly been negative backlash against streaming and how much they pay the artists? Why are you doing this? Right. You're in a constant PR battle with perception and reality. Like, and now you're gonna tell these guys that it costs them nothing to create the music that they're making,
right? And
you're paying them nothing after you just reported profits. What, 14 billion?
Hold on.
What are you doing?
As of December of 2023, Spotify pays artists between 0.003
we talked about that
and
too.
0.005 per stream, with a revenue split of 70% to the artist and 30% to Spotify.
And artists just create your own website and sell your music that way.
Direct to consumer. And, you know, again, shout out to Curtis King. A couple of months ago, after he interviewed La Russell, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm done with streaming. And he went direct to consumer. He made another video where he talked about how he made $11,000 in just music, being direct to consumer in a month. So, you know, the thing about this streaming thing, and y'all can go back way back when we had a conversation, physical versus digital, and I felt that, you know, streaming was the way because of ease of use. At that time, I would definitely say I was naive in terms of the business dealings, right?
You weren't looking at it from an artist standpoint.
Yeah, I was looking at it solely from an artist standpoint. Being able to put your music out there, everybody can consume it. I ain't got to go drive to a store. I could just search your name and hit download and then listen to it and you get paid. The idea...
Whatever's easier for you, just know that somebody else is suffering from that shit.
100%.
Just about any situation.
Yes. 100%. Yes. And again, I was thinking about the business, but I wasn't thinking about the shark tactics of the music industry. Because, bro, like,
these guys are sharks, bro.
0.003? That we're not even talking a penny.
It's not even a penny, bro.
Right. All you're seeing really are shady business practices in the music industry that's always been present. It's just manifested in a different way.
Yeah, 100%.
It was in contracts, masters, and stuff like that. It's the same thing.
You only get a certain percent of your CD sales. Like, it's been going on for decades and decades.
Yep. The story about TLC is a classic one, right? So that part, in terms of the shadiness, won't ever change. You know, now we are able to get access to this information. A lot of stuff is more public. But I think the business side of, or the ability to reach more people via streaming, is a value to the artist. The problem that they have comes down to the pay per stream. If they figure out the math on that, it could work. Or it should work. They just don't pay.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And that is the issue. And will they? If I'm Spotify and I made that much money, paying 0.0003 whatever it is, why the hell am I going to jump that up to 10 cents?
Yeah.
You know, why am I going to? It's just like what you were just talking about with Live Nation Ticketmaster. Why the hell am I going to do that? I got other shit to do. Right. But more importantly, I'm on the stock market and I got to keep my share price up, which is probably in the hundreds or some dollars. I feel you on creating your own thing and setting it up. Ryan Leslie, I think, has done that.
Yep.
Marciano did it.
Yeah. So I think that is a way the artists can push back by taking their stuff off and going direct to consumer, especially if you're already huge.
Yeah. And then if you got a dedicated fan base, Ty Ferris does it too. There's a couple of other independent artists that just go strictly from their website.
Yep. Even if you're mainstream, like if I'm Spotify, Apple Music, and I lose Taylor Swift.
Why not Taylor Swift or Drake or somebody do be like, all right, no more streaming. If you want my new music, go to my web, go to OVO.com or whatever.
Yeah, like look, I just
you say OVO? I misheard. I'm sorry.
Look, I just pulled up, right? How much does Kendrick Lamar make off of streaming? Right. So obviously with just the recent beef and all of that. Huh?
It's all in
It's
his
out
business,
there, huh?
bro.
Yeah, it's out there. It's public information. You know what I'm saying? The diss track Like That with Future Metro Boomin, that song has nearly 30 million streams and over 3,000 sales in 1 week. That only generated 135,000. To me, that does not make sense. If it's been streamed 30 million times, how is it only a little bit over $100,000 worth of pay?
That's wild.
That's wild. That's wild. Look,
Snoop was talking about that. When Snoop,
Snoop was talking about that too. Meet the Grams did more than 20 million streams and almost 7,000 sales. Like 20 million streams and 7,000 sales don't make sense to me. That number one don't make sense. But then the money,
That conversation too.
$98,000 for 20 million streams. Do you understand? Like the majority of people that make music are not going to do
those numbers. Yeah.
20 million streams. For 98,000, that, in my opinion, that's a lot of money. Most people don't make that in a year. But 20 million motherfuckers listen to it multiple times. 100,000 ain't enough for that. That number should be in the millions to the artist. If you listen to my shit 20 million times, I should be making millions on that. I'm not saying it should be one for one. I don't think if you listen to it 20 million times, I should make $20 million. That would be nice, but I know it doesn't work like that. Yeah. But bruh, 1.5, 2 million, 10%. Like, come on now. Like, to me, this
And then
don't
that
make
happens,
sense.
then Spotify and Apple Music goes out of business.
But why would they go out of business when their operating costs are not that?
One, because Spotify relies on people paying premium, a premium subscription or listen to the ads. So you would think that the CPM on a song that's been played 20 million times would relatively be high to help offset that. But at the end of the day, they need their own set of customers to pay them. And if they don't have people pay, it's just like Netflix. If I ain't got people paying for this to get access to it, then I won't be able to pay the artist. If the cost of me keeping content on here to keep you on here goes up, then they are going to have to raise their prices to pay the artist more. And that's going to be the situation that they'll have to deal with. So then what happens with that? People start canceling and walking away.
Well, not even that. Like, do you think, and I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if you know, I don't know if anybody knows. Do these streaming services make more off of membership or advertising?
I would imagine there's more off membership. I would have to read their
I would have to
their report.
So I don't know.
Quarter.
But in my opinion, you can negotiate a higher CPM from these advertisers because the advertisers are not going to go nowhere. Like, what is going to be your alternative? You're just going to pay more money. But at the end of the day, like, the overarching thing is the devaluation of content just in general, and as it pertains to music.
Well, it's your fault.
It is.
How is it my fault?
Niggas like you.
Also-
I pay memberships though.
Also,
I pay memberships.
to factor in,
Hold on. And I buy merchandise from artists, and I don't go to as many concerts as y'all. But I got the Larry June shoes. I bought Freddie Gibbs merch. Like, I bought Big Crit merch. Like, I
but there's a lot of other artists that you ain't getting their merch and shit.
Hey,
they not eating people.
Hey, my dollar can only go so far.
You're right.
Yeah, and it goes to Spotify.
For your convenience.
Right.
Hey,
no, I'm just
your
saying.
convenience.
Also, to factor in that some of these big artists that's signed to labels, so that fraction of a penny is even fraction more because I'm pretty sure the label's getting a piece of that streaming money. You know what I'm saying, based on their contract. So it's just sell your shit on your website,
and then
bro.
they get paid before the artists get paid.
Yep. So I'm
That's
saying,
the crazy part.
All that stifling.
I don't have an answer. I don't think anybody has, on this panel, like a direct answer. I think the best way to go about it, and we've had a lot of proponents in the music industry talk about direct to consumer. Be like,
Just
my
go
guy
independent and sell your music
100%
from your website.
And here's the thing. You can congruently put your shit on streaming and still sell it and package it a little different. Like we've been to the Marathon store before, you know, Nipsey's untimely passing and when it was open, and we saw where he was making the money. He was making money on merch. He knew he wasn't gonna make the money on the streaming, so I'm gonna sell my album for $100. I'm gonna sell this mixtape for $1,000. You're gonna get more with it, but there's so many other avenues that you can make. But I think at the core, regardless of whatever, however big or small you are, you have to have a way to be direct to consumer. And I think that is the answer for now. I don't think that that's the answer for ever, but you have to have a way to be able to get your product where the least amount of people are taking money from it.
I think it's a fine balance because you still need the promotion, right? Mm-hmm. You still need these platforms to promote it and things like that. Because I look at people like Mock Hami or whatever, like who didn't have his stuff on streaming for forever. Mm-hmm. But now I see that he was fighting for it to get back on Spotify, and it's probably for promotion. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's not going to make money off of it, but I'm sure he was fighting for it to be back on there because it's more opportunity for eyes to be on it
100
or whatever.
It's a necessary evil. But I also think that if there was no streaming, artists would make more money.
I don't know.
I don't know about
How did they become global?
What do labels do right now? They tell you to go on TikTok more. They tell you to go on IG.
Okay.
So you have other means of getting your voice, your likeness out there. It's not the same like streaming because obviously you are marketing and promoting the direct product, but there are other ways for you to be more global in today's world than it was in the 90s or early 2000s. Is it perfect? No, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think direct to consumer is the best way for any artist
and
to make more.
Do that, the label would have to hire a whole social team and a whole marketing team to do that, and they would have to be paid, and that's going to come out your money.
That's the reason why, you know, a lot of artists are saying that labels aren't going to be here. You listen to La Russell, you listen to Curtis King, you listen to Nipsey, Vince Staples, you know what I'm saying? Russ, you know, there's going to be a lot. Why are you making that face? Cause this nigga's a multimillionaire being independent.
Give me somebody that matters, bro.
How do they not matter? Vince Staples don't matter? Russ don't matter?
I said there you go with Vince Staples. But
Okay.
Russell and Russ, no disrespect to them.
How Russell don't matter?
Because you need people, you need names people fucking know, bro, in order to get the message out to the other artists.
Oh my God. I think that what you have to do is see the people that are winning with these strategies and adopt a method of that strategy into your own business, right? What La Russell is doing is he's literally holding concerts in his backyard. I'm not saying that that's going to work for every single independent artist, but you could take that ideology and apply it. When you apply it to you, it could be completely different. But take that blueprint and do something with it, Ken, because he's winning.
Y'all going to a La Russell party?
I don't stay in LA.
Y'all heard about La Russell before today?
Oh my God. So you see the ignorance that we have to deal with at times. But at the end of the day, man, you know, the Department of Justice is suing Live Nation, and obviously Spotify feels that content creation is damn near free. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What is the future of music and content creation? Let's have a conversation. Hit us up in the comment section. We out.